The city of Boise has a new acting police chief. Longtime BPD officer Ron Weiniger was made acting chief today in the fallout of Boise Mayor Lauren McLean asking Chief Ryan Lee to resign. That request from the mayor came about 24 hours after KTVB investigative reporter Alex Duggan published her investigation into claims of a hostile workplace under Chief Lee. Officers detailed to KTVB a culture of name-calling, put-downs, and overall low morale at BPD. An environment, officers say, led to the departure of several longtime BPD officers. Well, today, Boise City Council met for the first time since Chief Lee's resignation, and Joe Paris was there where I believe this topic had to come up, right? Because this isn't a situation where it's just kind of over and done with going forward.
Well, it came up, but it only came up in executive session. So there's the public part of the meeting, which we were there for. They mentioned that they were going to go into executive session to talk about a personnel matter. You can read between the lines on probably what they were talking about there. But just because Chief Lee is going to be leaving the department in October doesn't mean this is over. And there are serious situations and claims that still need to be investigated. And we're talking in terms of the actual environment at BPD and the claims of a hostile working environment, but also how those claims were handled at the city level. And City Council did go into their executive session to discuss a personnel matter. Of course, they couldn't elaborate beyond that, but again, reading between the lines, we know there's a serious conversation to be had between city leaders and the City Council about exactly what happened and could happen in the future at Boise Police. But only they can say for sure, those that were in the executive session. We did ask members of City Council to talk with us about moving forward and the inventory they now need to take on Boise Police and human resource processes. And Council member Jimmy Hallyburton told us today that he was surprised to see the news yesterday after he was away this weekend. But Hallyburton did tout a positive relationship that he had with Lee. He adds to us, though, that he had not had any BPD employees reach out to him personally about issues they saw with the department or Chief Lee. But he says he can't speak for other members of the City Council. So while City Council works to learn more about the situation, Hallyburton says it's a great time to take inventory of the much talked about human resources and accountability processes within the city of Boise and Boise Police.
You know, we have all these systems that are in place that are designed to help you do things the right way, to make sure that you honor an investigation, to make sure that you're not making decisions in an arbitrary or capricious way. And so I think we just want to make sure that if we've got systems, that those systems are working, and if those systems aren't working, that we can address, where we need to make changes. And at this point, I really don't know what changes need to be made, if any, and just still trying to figure a lot of it out.
Retired Boise police officers told our 7 Investigates team about how they were unsure how the investigation into their complaints about Chief Lee was handled by the city and the Office of Police Accountability. Now, they put out a memo recommending that Chief Lee be placed on leave and that complaining officers be interviewed further, but neither of those things ever happened, according to the officers we spoke with. Chief Lee was never placed on leave pending an investigation or placed on leave pending any criminal investigation into an allegation that he broke an officer's neck during a briefing. That incident resulted in no official charges. Well, why? Well, it's because a third-party investigation was conducted by the mayor's office and found no violation of the policy. Mayor McLean told us that back on Friday. So in terms of moving forward, Councilmember Hallyburton gave a glowing recommendation for Ron Weiniger, who's now going to be the acting BPD chief. He's back in the department after leaving a time ago. He was there for a long time, retired, now being brought back. But I mean, there's still a lot to get into here, Brian. I think I've seen some impressions on social media and spoken to people in the community that say, okay, well, the chief's gone, it's time to move forward. And while that is true, there's still some very serious conversations about how was this handled, were there issues with this, and that's what an investigation and further work will have to determine.
Well, I was going back and looking back what Hallyburton said to you, that if the system's in place, make sure it's working. If it's not working, it didn't seem like it's working because, well, the mayor's office says no need for any sort of change, and then an investigative report comes out and all of a sudden there's a need for change.
Yeah, so there's a lot of serious conversations that are still yet to be had.
All right, thank you very much, Joe.